Welcome back to the Free Flight Fortnight. Something a bit special for you. This is the Xperia Glaive, which is a human-manufactured replica of the Glaive. Learn to speak. What's that? That is one of the. I think it might be the heavier of the two fighters we've seen so far. Which are used by the Vandal, who are the certainly the most aggressive of the alien species we've had revealed to us so far. While the scythe that players have been able to get their hands on is captured technology, this is a replica. Sort of the game lore essentially says that this is something that was manufactured for training purposes. So let's take a look. Unlike the scythe, it's symmetrical, first of all, something worth noting. The scythe is asymmetrical, but it does still feature the blades, the ramming blades, on the front and sides. This is explained in the lore. Basically, it goes in with the whole aggressive alien species kind of deal. I've never flown it before, so let me see. I love that the wings lift up there. I hope I haven't gone too far. But essentially, as you might imagine, that opens up the prospect of ramming. What's particularly interesting is you'll notice the flight position, which is kind of it's almost motorbike saddle. You're basically led on your stomach, and there's quite a lot of space up there in the cockpit that we weren't using, and that's obviously because the real pilots are physically much larger than humans. So it's a bit of a beast, isn't it? Let's take a look. So as I said before, it's symmetrical, so you've got two ramming blades instead of the one, and it's not in that sort of defensive posture you see on the scythe, where it almost comes across the front of the cockpit a little bit to kind of absorb some fire. It serves sort of as a ramming blade as well as a shield almost. This is altogether more aggressive. So you've got the landing stanchions built into the bottom of the blades there, and some nice detailing on the edges there. Now, I haven't tried them myself, but I believe these do work, so ramming actually is a possibility. It's not something that that hasn't been implemented properly at this time. I also like the paint job, I must say. The red and yellow is quite striking, really. So what you see here is some particularly heavy-looking weaponry, noticeably underneath the cockpit canopy there. We've got twin lasers, it looks like. And given the scale of them, they're not shy of the length of the entire cockpit, so I imagine they're going to pack a bit of a punch. Got the rear landing stanchion down here. Let's take a look at the engines. One thing I will comment on is I did notice when I was bringing it into land there that it's incredibly fast. It seems, or it felt very fast at least. I didn't actually look at what the number on the readout was. I also noticed that I began blacking and redding out off camera really easily, so it's incredibly agile. Now what you see here obviously is that the wings here, or the blades, have kind of turned upwards slightly, and if these sort of tail flaps almost, if these serve the same purpose as similar items we've seen on ships like the Constellation, I believe there's something to do with jump point functionality. It looks like there's some articulation going on in here, which I'll be interested to see. You see there? There's some hinging, which I guess comes into play in atmospheric flight rather than anything in space. The twin-engined, which obviously explains the brutal acceleration, and then obviously we've got the thrusters that will pivot and move as needs require. I do love the detail on the wiring. It looks like some pretty heavy-duty cabling coming down here. And I didn't look, but I'm guessing this is a weapon. It's certainly the vibe it gives off, but it could actually be the front. It could be a set of thrusters for reverse thrust purposes. I'm going to hop back in. What's this under here? Is that just something pointy, or is it for sensing? Maybe. Hard to say. Something I didn't point out actually on the way round. There's a missile rack under or over the wing here, and even the missiles have knives, which is a pretty aggressive touch. I also like that it's not all new and shiny. It's a good example of how your ships are going to age from when you buy them new. You see the detailing on those textures there. Just dust and abrasions from a hard life in deep space. Always a nice touch. Let's get it off this landing pad and we'll check out some of the weaponry. Again, another short video because this is the only ship from Esperia, who, as I say, they are a human manufacturer, but this is all we know of from the manufacturer at this time. Now I need to figure out how to get back in the bastard. Let's see. Do I stand here? Let me see if I can get an external view and see how we actually get in. Oh no, I can't. Well, kind of. The camera's a bit jank, which I kind of expect. This is subject to change as well, because what you see initially is the alien HUD, and then sort of a human hacked version sort of interferes with it and then takes over, which I guess, that was really, see there, a bit of alien language popping up. That was created obviously for the captured Vandal scythe. I don't know why we're seeing that in a ship that was built by humans, but regardless, let's take it up and see what happens with these wings.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was right. Look at that articulation there. It's got a... That's very elegant. I do like that. Now, I'll be honest, the scythe in particular was the Vandal ship we've all seen the most of, and I just realised the engines are very loud. And to be honest, I didn't like it. I know some people prefer asymmetry over symmetry. I've never been one of those people. So games like EVE Online obviously drove me completely fucking nuts because they have an obsession with asymmetrical ship design. I have to say, that cockpit looks fantastic.
Shields fully charged.
That's good news, and it gives us can't see where I'm going, but it certainly gives us a better view of all the articulation coming into play. That's very nice. I'm going to bring it to a standstill really quick. And let's see what weaponry we've got. Okay, we've got 2 weak lasers, 2 plasma cannons, and some scythe missiles. So that's the weak laser, so that's the stuff underneath the nose. I don't know, it sounds pretty powerful. I don't think weak's the suitable name for it. And then... yeah, look at that. Can you see on the peripheral of the periphery of the cockpit? If you look, after firing, it almost like loads a shell in. Just take a look. See that? That's a very nice touch. I love the attention to detail. Look at that acceleration. That's insane. I'll tell you what, let's give it a quick speed test and then I'll finish the video. This is without afterburners, so up to a straight 240, which is, I believe, pretty standard actually. It feels faster. Let's hit the afterburner. That's not doing anything, apparently. Let's see if it's doing something to the outside. Apparently not. I'm not entirely sure what that's doing. Bit of a new map for you as well. Thought I'd treat you all. There is more than one map. Not that you would know it from my videos. This one's the Dying Star map. I love the EM readout and sort of you're getting all kinds of information on it. It's a very uncluttered HUD, which obviously, you know, that frees up all the extra visibility that you want for picking out your targets and paying attention. You know, it's quite hard to see things at distance in space, you know, and obviously the HUD's there to assist you, but there are ships that are designed to evade sensors, and then, you know, your eyes are going to come into play at a certain distance, and everything you do, you know, from having your engines powered up to, you know, switching on weapons or shields or what have you, will increase or decrease your EM output. It's all going to come into play eventually, and I don't know, I get the feeling that this thing, it feels very, very sharp. I've got a feeling that this is going to claim its fair share of scalps. I've heard that the scythe is actually quite difficult to fly because of the asymmetry. The asymmetry is replicated in the weaponry, which means it can be quite hard to put in on target. We'll see that in the next video. I think the next video I'll do will be on the captured scythe, and then we'll go through to the bigger manufacturers like Anvil and RSI. I'll probably do Origin as well, though I'm still having a bug with the 300 series where I'm not able to land it without it pulling a wheelie for some reason. Anyway, thank you very, very much for joining me to take a look at the Xperia Glaive. I hope it's been an education, and I'll see you next time. Take care.